Hey everybody, welcome to Hilltop Machine Works. Hey everybody, it's Tom here, and we are back in the shop. As you can see, I have got a pile of stuff here piling up. I got purchases for the shop. I got some viewer gifts, and talk about some completed projects, talk about some upcoming projects, and I also have some clips of short things here and there that I recorded, so I'm going to slip them in here. So we're going to have another mail call. This will be mail call number 27. So we're getting on up there. It's pretty cool. Channel's growing. I appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. If you hadn't subscribed, please hit that red banner down there. It says subscribe. It doesn't cost you one single wood nickel. Totally free. And that way you'll get notifications of when I post videos. I try to stay on a regular schedule. If I got enough content, I post Monday and Friday. And if it's been a either slow week or a busy week for me, but not in the shop, then I just post one on Mondays. So hey, without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and I'll show you my goodies. Over here at my display case that I showed on the previous mail call, so I'm starting to fill it up with somewhat vintage machinist knickknacks and whatnot. So I thought I'd show you how I got it set up and some of my latest acquisitions. So I picked up that little test indicator, and I grabbed this old DTI, and then I scored this cute little Brown and Sharp 0 to 1/2 inch micrometer. I mean, it's just a little cutie. $9. I mean, people were sleeping on eBay because usually these little 0 to 1/2 inchers go for big money, 30, 40, 50 bucks. It's crazy. And it's smooth as silk. So I'm very tickled I was able to score this for the display case for $9. So so it's coming along. I'm getting stuff here and there, just surfing eBay, trying to find some stuff that'll fit in the cabinet relatively cheap. So yeah, I got a big pile of stuff here. I guess let's start off with some kind of viewers gifts and stickers that have come in. First, I got the Air Cave Shop, Dean over there in California. He's got a nice Bridgeport and a South Bend lathe. Go check out Dean's channel if you get a chance, if you're not already watching his channel. And Dean was kind enough to send me a couple things. Sent me a Morse taper drill bit. Looks like still got some life. May just need to hone the edges a little bit. And he also sent me a nice big tool holder, so I can use this on the G&E shaper. So it just needs a little bit of tweaking in there in the threads, but otherwise a perfectly usable tool. Looks like it'll handle about 7/16 or maybe 1/2 inch high-speed steel. So that is awesome. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate it. I always love stuff when it comes into the shop. And Vern over there in Tennessee, Vernon Courier, also known as Mature Patriot. He's finally got some stickers out. This is his version 1.0. I think he mentioned in his letter he's going to upgrade. I think he wants the stickers a little bit bigger, or the image bigger. But go check out Vernon over there at Two Busted Thumbs Production. Vernon's had a little bit of health issues recently, so keep Vernon in your prayers. And go over there and watch his channel. Hit some likes and subscribes. Give him some love. We need to support our fellow machinists. And let's see here, where to start here. I guess so So since I got the big shaper, I got to start, you know, gathering tooling. I picked up this nice big 1 inch by 1 inch high-speed steel. This is a Rex AA, and I think it has some cobalt in it, if that's what the double A's stand for. I know they got a double A and a triple A. I know the triple A has some cobalt, so I'm hoping this does too, looking at the color of it. So we'll be grinding this up and using it on the shaper. And to be able to use the tooling that I got with the shaper, I picked up some more high-speed steel. I got this from All Industrial. They had the best price. Nothing special. This is just import high-speed steel, so not sure how the cutting edges are going to hold up. I couldn't find any good stuff on eBay, you know, any Momax or Rex 95 in 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So we'll give this a shot. Hopefully we'll have some cool shaper action coming up. And also, while we're on the shaper subject, got this off eBay. This is an original Armstrong wrench. This is 1 1/4 inch, but it looked a lot bigger in the picture. You know? So I need this to loosen the bolts on the table to raise it and lower it. So it's not really long enough to get much leverage on it. So it's cool, but I'm not sure I'll be able to use it much. So pick that up. And my live center trying to run away. Picked up this nice number 48 Armstrong boring bar holder for the shaper. So that way I can do some, you know, keyway work. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, I picked up another dial indicator with a mag back from Shaw's to use on the shaper specifically. So like I said, just gathering stuff for the good old shaper. Well, I'll throw this short little clip in a mail call, but since I've been working on the G&E shaper and got the belt guard off and the door, I figured I'd go ahead and clean them up and paint them before I put them back on. So that's the guard all cleaned up and coat of paint. And let's see, of course, Mother Nature trying to land on it and ruin my paint job. And then the door over here, I got her in the blast cabinet. I had to move the blast cabinet out here for room. So we are going to blast away. Let me move you inside. And I'll get all these numbers nice and sharp, get all that paint and primer off of them. So this is just a standard, the large size Harbor Freight blast cabinet, but I did upgrades on it, like some of the YouTubers have done. This is an upgraded scat blast gun. I added a foot pedal. Also added a better light in there, and then of course now I've got the cyclone system. So let me get this baby fired up and get a coat of paint on her, and the door and the guard will be wrapped up and I can get them back on the shaper. Some eBay purchases here for the lathe. I guess start off with, if you watched the dies being made over on the Monarch, I needed a small boring bar and I didn't have one at the Monarch. All I got is a big boring bar, so I had to steal the one from the Inco. So I picked up another 1/2 inch boring bar. So this one can be a dedicated one. It'll stay over there at the Monarch and I can put the other one back on the Inco. And since I'm doing a lot of 20 mil stuff for some reason, I picked up this 20 millimeter Morse Taper 3 drill bit, and obviously it is used since it's got the Guess this is a wax. No, this is more of a rubber coating on it. It's probably been, you know, reground, but that's fine. And a smaller round nose profile for the Inco. That way, I've got one that's it's larger, so it's got a larger radius on it. I want to get a smaller one, especially if you want to go in those corners there and radius it. Sometimes you need a smaller one. So I picked that up, and I got a Morse Taper 4 wide center. This one's got the basically the extension on it, so you can hold your work here and you can get in there, you know, and get the bit. So you can either really get close to it if you're turning, or if you need to face close to it. So I grabbed that, and lastly, broke my deburring tool, so I had to order another one. I grabbed Noga this time, and the extra set of bits I ordered, they should be coming in anytime. So Noga products, you know, they're awesome. If you don't have any, you need to get some, because they're real quality stuff. They've got a lot of cool products for us machinists and guys working in the shop. So I'm working on the handle for the big vise on the shaper, and I heated it up and I got it pretty straight. So now I'm just getting ready to wire brush it and whatnot. But I thought I'd show you the versatility of this big bad boy vise that I picked up. So as you can see, because of the taper, it'd be kind of hard to grab in a traditional vise. But you pull the pin, back jaw rotates to the angle that it needs. Crank down the handle, and we're good to go. And see, now she's super solid. So pretty trick. That's one of the I guess added features on the old Prentice vise. So pretty cool. I'll just throw this in the mail call. I was doing a project for my wife, and I was trying to find center on this big round circular piece of wood, and the problem was I couldn't find center because my rule wasn't long enough. So, you know, you're only talking here to in here is what, 9, maybe 9.5 inches, maybe 10 if you can get here, depending on what the radius is, whether it's tight or wide. So I grabbed an 18-inch ruler off eBay. This is Products Engineering, made in the USA. This is a Boehm, so it was cheap, but that way it'll fit in our center finder. And now I've got a lot longer reach, so I can find those centers in the circles. Alright guys, going to do a public service announcement. So hopefully you can see that. See all those Kajingas and goobers and whatnot floating in there? This is one of my cool misting bottles. So yeah, time for some new coolant. So when you get a chance, check your coolant if you haven't checked it in a while. So you don't want to be breathing that stuff. And I just picked up a fresh bottle of Cool Mist 77. So I am just changing out my misting bottles. This one sits at the lathe. I'm sorry, this one sits at the mill, and then the one I got at the lathe, that's the Noga Cool, and I can, you know, shuffle it back and forth from the Inco to the Monarch and back. So anyways, check your coolant, guys. Knobs everywhere. So KBC had their monthly flyer come out, and they had a sale on their, I guess kind of call them thumb knobs. So I grabbed a variety pack, so to speak, you know, because sometimes on a project you don't have time, or you don't want to, you know, make a simple knob. It'd be nice just to go and to a box or a cabinet and grab one and keep on trucking on the project. So like I said, I grabbed a whole bunch of them. This is threaded half 13. I got 2 of these. Oh, I'm sorry, these are 5/8 11, so these are biggies. These are half 13s, yep. And let's say I got some 3/8 16, 5/16 18, and then I got some little baby quarters. So, you know, a couple bucks, it's a lot easier just to grab one of these and put a piece of threaded rod in there, and, you know, you're good to go instead of stopping and, you know, having to redo your tooling or whatever you're doing in the process, especially if you're on the lathe or the mill, and then just to make a knob and then get back to what you're doing. So I grabbed those. If you thinking about putting a stash away, go check out KBC's flyer. I think they're still on sale. They're about half price, or about 33% off, something like that. So give them a look-see. You can never have enough tool holders, right? So they're easy to make, but when CDCO has them on sale, they're even better when somebody else makes them. So I grabbed, I got 6 AXAs, you know, your standard, and then I got one in here that's got the groove in it here for round stuff. So I think they're, what they have them on sale for, 10 bucks this time. So that's why I grabbed a bunch, and then I'll just put them away, and then when I need it, I'll get them set up. So like I said, I've been pretty happy with the quality from CDCO on these tool holders. I mean, you know, it's just a block of steel. The only thing that I like doing is replacing these set screws, because they seem to be just a tad bit soft. But you know, good source for tooling like this if you're on a budget. Since I got bit by the shaper bug, I've been trying to get as many references that I can on you know, running shapers and learning about them and whatnot. And I ran across this book. It was mentioned on Practical Machinist, and I think also the Hobby Machinist group websites. So what it is pretty cool. It is a collection of articles that were run in the NEMS Gazette from 2000-2010. So basically the guy that authored that column has gathered 10 years worth of submissions that people have put into that particular publication. So as you can see, you know, various people talking about the shapers that they have. Pretty cool book. Got some good information, a bunch of neat shapers that I had never seen, a lot of smaller ones from other countries. And hopefully you can see that. This is one guy's shop, man. Check out all the shapers he's got. He's got the shaper bug worse than me. But yeah, it looks like a G and E there, and then it goes down on the other side here, looking from the other way. Maybe a Rockford, maybe a Cincy slid in there. But anyways, a cool book. You can get it in black and white. It's cheaper, or you can get it in color, but I like the color. It definitely helps in some of the articles. Guys doing restorations on shapers. So if you're interested, check out Indie Authors. That's who's publishing this book. And I picked up some 6x48 good old sanding belts here. These are 40 grit, specifically made for steel. Unfortunately, the semi-annual swap meet that we go to, and of course I bring the camera and you guys come along, it it got rained out for most of the weekend. Unfortunately, Mother Nature did not cooperate, especially Friday. It was a washout, and of course Friday's the best day to go because all the vendors are there and they got good stuff. And Saturday, you know, it's just packed. Saturday is twice as bad as it is on Friday. You just can't get around, can't get anything. So didn't get a chance to go, so I figured I'd go ahead and order them online. And these are good, made in the USA. Like I said, specifically made for metal. I think the ones that I've been getting at the car show, even though they're real cheap, $4 or $5 a belt, I think they're, you know, made more towards wood, so they don't last as long. So be interesting to give these green ones a try. Hey guys, I'm gonna throw this in the mail call, but moving that big shaper, so I use these 1-inch 3-inch long black pipes, and shaper would sit on it, and we would slide the shaper over 6-8 inches, and then I would wail on these pipes to slide them back under. You know, that shaper is almost about 5,000 pounds. I'll move you in. You can see how deformed the ends are and how much oiling I did on it. Well, I did it with this snap-on hammer. I will say I'm totally impressed. If you look at that face, I mean, it looks like it's still new. So I always was apprehensive about spending that kind of money on a snap-on hammer, but yeah, I'm sold. It rocks. I mean, your normal hammer, your face would look like this, you know. So, or a sledge, you know. It'd show the wear and the beating on it. But no, looks really good. So, you know, you ain't gonna get that from a Harbor Freight hammer. Even though they're way cheaper, you know, you'd tear it up and have to go buy another one, and then, you know, after a few 3 Harbor Freight hammers, you could have just gone ahead and bought you a snap-on hammer. So thought I'd do an update on the on this hammer that I bought I don't know, probably 6 months ago in one of the mail calls. And lastly, thanks for hanging in there, guys. The Snap-on Man had some goodies. So they had the 3-piece dead blow hammer set on sale. Normally $199 is on sale for a $169. So I mean, that's not bad for a nice 3 hammer set. I mean, you're talking, you know, less than what, about $55 a hammer or so. So you get a 24, a 48, and a 32 dead blows. So perfect. I can put one over there at the Monarch, one over there at the Inco mill, and then throw one in the toolbox. So that was a sweet deal. And helping my buddy Brad replace the coil-over struts on a Honda Element was a royal pain, especially the back, because it's kind of like in a, I don't know, macaroni noodle, and it comes down, and the stud, the bottom stud, you know, one is hard to get to begin with, and number two, unfortunately, it is metal sleeved, and so the piece of hardware, the fastener or the bolt, whatever you want to call it, running through it had totally rusted, and we could not get it out. We ended up spending about 3 hours just basically grinding and cutting and totally just destroying it to try to get it out. But this would have been handy too, because it didn't have much work. You know, my standard 1/2-inch drive wasn't long enough, so this is the longest one they got, and it's a flex head, so I can get way up underneath it and get enough sticking out of the wheel well so you can actually get a hold of it and you know, break that fastener loose. But you know, quality tools, gotta love them. And go from big to small. I grabbed a basically the long neck 1/4-inch drive. This comes in handy too, especially if you're working behind the dash or working, you know, in tight engine compartments where you got small fasteners and you need long reach, but you can't get your hand in there. So I grabbed this little cutie right here, and I think with that is all the purchases. So couple reminders, still have stickers available for you guys. So I'm giving a bunch out, but I still have some. I got the small ones and the large ones in blue and yellow. So if you want a sticker, send me an email. Email's at the beginning of the video, and also I'll put it down here in the bottom. Tell me what color you want and what size you want, or if you want one of each, it's not a problem. I will be glad to send it out to you. And the t-shirt designs are done, so they are getting printed now. I'm just going to do a small little run, you know, just for me and a couple friends, and then I'll probably have a few for sale here, probably, you know, through my email. I'll let you guys know when that happens. But they're going to be quality shirts, and you know, the price point is going to be probably about $10 cheaper than Store Frontier or, you know, T-Blaster, since I'm selling them through myself, and you know, I can keep the cost down for you guys. So look for that. And let me get the camera turned around and I'll talk to you guys directly. Well guys, I guess I just throw this in the mail call after a long day. Just hanging out at the old fire pit. The cover's working good. So I don't know if you guys can see that pile of wood there. That's what's the left over from the pallet that we cut up from underneath the shaper when I picked it up. So just hanging out by the fire. It's a nice April night. Alrighty, how's this? So how's the audio? So been using the new Rode mic. I'm using it right now, so hopefully the audio is good. It seems to be pretty good. You know, I used it on the whole video series for the making of the dies. So I hope you guys enjoyed that 3-part series. And working on a brass business card holder. If you remember, I showed the brass stock. So got the stock all cut up, and I'm doing a collaboration with Randy Richards, so I sent it to Randy and he is engraving them. So once they get them back here, then we'll continue working on them. So that is a cool upcoming project. Look for those brass business card holders. And let's see, after that, going to be working on a grill griddle. If you remember, I picked up that big hunk of 1-inch thick plate steel, and I'm going to you know, just mill the top and then mill a groove all around it, basically for a grease trap. Basically kind of the same thing that AVE did. So summer's coming, so I'm going to be able to cook on the grill, so that'll be our easy upcoming project. Look for that. So and of course, there's always going to be something popping up here and there, or walk-ins. So, and you know, just stay tuned. Watch the channel, comment, like, subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, like I said, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. We are nearing, what, almost 900 subs. So 100 more after that, and we'll hit the big old 1K killer mile marker. So I can't wait to get 1,000 subs. You know, we'll do a 1,000 sub giveaway like I did at the 500 mark. So you gotta stay tuned for that. And I got a really cool prize. I already ordered it, sitting over there on the shelf. So I'm excited. You know, tell your friends, let's get the count up. It'd be awesome. You know, it's been fun. Channel is growing. And with that, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next mail call.